Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here, and welcome to part 2 of Feed the Pig. I am going to just say right here, if you haven't watched part 1, please stop this video, go to the description below, click that link, watch that video, and then come back here and hit play again, because otherwise you will be a little lost. And again, like I said at the beginning of the video in the little introduction thingy, this story contains a lot of graphic content and violence, etc. Has a lot of insaneness. And so I highly do recommend that if you are weak of stomach or do not like violence or are triggered by suicidal conversations, please turn this video off now and don't watch part 1. But that's just some self-care tips. If you guys are ready, let's jump back in to part 2. Danny snorted. That's always what you people ask. He began to pace back and forth in front of me. No, this is not hell. This is not heaven either. This is the Black Farm. And no, I didn't name it that. This is where God sends the souls who have ended their own life. Suicidals. See, he doesn't really know what to do with you, and neither does the devil. They are genuinely good people who kill themselves. Seems cruel to banish them to hell for all eternity for a moment of weakness, right? Personally, I think God and the devil were just tired of arguing about it, so they send them here, to the Black Farm. Did God create this place? I asked, growing more and more confused. Danny spit on the floor, chuckling. Sure, at some point, but he lost control of it when he put the pig in charge. What's the pig? I asked, unsure I wanted to know the answer. Danny held up a hand, annoyed. Can I fucking finish? God created this place eons ago, put the pig in charge, and then forgot about it for a while. Well, when his back was turned, the pig decided to use his new powers to try and create his own little world. This mess you see around you is the fractured remains of that experiment. The Black Farm used to be a lot nicer, but the pig wanted things to be different. He wanted to create his own vision. These people you see, these monsters, they're the pig's attempts at creating functioning life. Instead of mirroring God's earth, these mutated, horrible creations are full of sin and hatred. They run rampant here, unabashed. This place is chaos. The Black Farm is a circus of freaks and monsters, and it's your eternity. Fear boiled in my gut like thick oil. No, this couldn't be my end. I didn't believe in stuff like this. This wasn't real. I would wake up soon and realize I was just having a nightmare, and that had to be it. Danny stood before me and lightly slapped my face. Hey, don't go into hysterics on me. I haven't finished yet. I raised my teary eyes to meet his. Danny smiled. You can always feed the pig. My breath pushed from my lungs like burning steam. What does that mean? Danny spread his hands, still smiling. As simple as that. Feed the pig. If you do so, there's a chance he'll send you back to your life. And what happens if it doesn't? I bumbled. You get sent to hell. So, flip a coin if you have one. Stay here with us or feed the pig. If you choose to stay, I'll let you go. I'll let you go out there, he said, pointing towards the door. But let me assure you, what awaits you at the end of the hallway? Well, let's just say hell isn't that much worse. I swallowed hard, trying my best to digest everything. Why wouldn't I try feeding the pig? Whatever that meant. If there was even a sliver of hope, I would take it. An eternity in this place, the Black Farm, be sent to hell, or feed the pig? I would do anything for a chance to go back. This nightmare made my problems seem nothing in comparison. Danny raised a hand before I could speak. I'll let you think on that for a while. I'll be back later. I want to feed the pig, I cried, not wanting to spend another second in this awful room. I could hear a woman screaming down the hallway, her cries rising as something meaty pounded into her. My breath came in sharp pulls and my throat burned. Danny noticed the noise and grinned. Sounds pretty bad, huh? He said softly as the woman's voice creaked with agony. Something was still slamming into her, the sound of beaten flesh igniting my imagination with horrors. Please, I gasped, breathless. Just let me feed the pig. I don't want to stay here any longer. Danny turned away from me. I'll be back later. Enjoy your time alone. Really think about your situation. Weigh your options. And remember, you put yourself here. And with that, he was gone, leaving me in the dim room. Tears streamed down my face. The woman didn't stop screaming for hours. At some point, I fell into a semi-sleep. The darkness in the room seemed to press in on me, and my eyes fluttered shut. My body ached, and my throat was a halo of fire. Thirst raked at my windpipe like sharp glass. My lips felt like crumpled paper. My head thundered like a drum. The room swam in and out of focus, and my mind drifted towards the horrific sounds that never ended. I was lost in a haze, unaware that something was sliding into the room until I felt a sharp prick on my big toe. I jolted out of my daze as my bare foot ignited with pain. I screamed and tried to move, but my bindings held me tight. The room rushed back into focus, and I blinked in agony as I felt blood trickle between my toes. I looked down for the source of pain and felt a scream clot my throat. Staring at me was an armless man. He slithered on the floor like a worm, his bald head scabbed and filthy. His legs were wrapped together in barbed wire, forcing him to wriggle his body to move. His eyes were eyeless and wide, two bloodshot white orbs that stared up at me with hungry intensity. His teeth had been removed and replaced with long screws which jutted from his bleeding gums like a broken rock formation. Around his neck was a chain leash, which I followed across the floor to the open door. The end of the leash was held by a tall, naked man. His body was hairless and flabby, covered in similar scabs like his pet. A dirty bag was pulled over his head that hid his features, except for a single red eye that peeked out from me from a crude cut in the cloth. He stared at me and groped his engorged penis, his breath heavy and labored. As the armless man wriggled towards me, his master started to masturbate. I screamed as the screw-filled mouth bit at me again, and my cries seemed to stimulate the naked man even more. "Get off me! Stop it!" I screamed, horrified. I tried to kick at the man, doing my best to avoid his sharp metal teeth. I brought my heel down on his head, and he screamed as his face bounced off the floor. A moan of pleasure escaped the bagged man's mouth, and I turned away as a mist of black sprayed out onto the floor. There was a rattle of chains, and I turned back to see the two of them leaving. The armless man dragged by his neck out the door. I looked at where the bagged man had ejaculated and saw a puddle of dead ants. I vomited onto myself, thick, chunky curtains of bile and slime. "Get me out of here!" I screamed, strands of puke running down my chin. "I don't belong here!" I listened to the two men retreat down the hallway, the clank of chains accompanied by the sound of flesh being dragged across the concrete. I screamed again, but I knew no one was going to help me. I spit a wad of phlegm and bile onto the floor, ridding my mouth of its sourness. I forced myself to calm down. It wasn't easy. After some time, I heard someone else approaching. I had been in a miserable lull, my mind a blank canvas of dark despair, but the noise roused me from my trance-like state. The muscles in my arms burned from being restrained for so long, and I shifted them desperately, trying my best to prepare myself for whatever horror was about to walk through the door. I'm going to stop there for that one. That is the end of part 2. This is like really intense already, and I'm interested to see where it goes. And it's really well written for sure. And I'm still processing all of this. Please leave me a comment down below if you are posing any theories about what our friend might do in the story. Do you think he is going to stick with his option to feed the pig, or is he just going to hang out for the rest of eternity? If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you can get a notification the next time I upload part 3 of this video. If you enjoyed it, I can't wait to see you in the next one. I love you guys so very much.